Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, Paul and JB. Welcome, everybody, to the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call. I'm Josh Taylor. In tonight for Rich Walsh. He is traveling back from Ottawa after covering the Pens throughout the Eastern Conference Finals. Got a lot to talk about going into tonight's show, of course. Game 5 tomorrow of those same Eastern Conference Finals. Penguins in Ottawa at PPG Paints Arena tomorrow. 3 o'clock is the puck drop. And the Penguins have a very unique opportunity. They can do something they haven't done in this series yet tomorrow with the win. They can actually have the lead in the series. They've been playing catch-up the entire time trying to even things up with Ottawa. Ottawa won Game 1, Pens won Game 2. Ottawa won Game 3, Pens won Game 4. They actually have a shot now to take advantage in this series. And going into this series, I expected the Penguins to have some difficulty scoring goals. I thought they would be able to at least eke 1 or 2 games out just because of their defense and goaltending alone. But, of course, the defense keeps suffering different blows here and there. Chad Ruhwedel has been reportedly ruled out already for tomorrow, which means another defenseman for the Penguins is down, which means they're going to have to shuffle another one in. Will it be Mark Streit? Will it be Justin Schultz? Well, we'll just have to find out tomorrow. Of course, as always, Mike Sullivan, mum is the word as far as availability for injured players goes. And they're also doing it without Patrick Hornquist, without Brian Rust. It seems like the list of guys who are missing from this lineup gets longer and longer, but they keep managing to find ways to pull it out. And the players actually said today, they had some meeting with the media this morning, and they were talking about having a sense of desperation, having a sense of urgency, knowing that it's hard to try to overcome deficits in the playoffs and try to keep on top of every game that they play, knowing the circumstances facing them. I think it'll be an interesting scenario tomorrow. Of course, the big topic from last night, going into last night's game, Matt Murray starts Game 4. He stops 24 of 26 shots. I thought he played well enough to win that game. I thought he was part of the reason why they won that game. I thought he made saves even after turnovers by the Penguins. That could have been big opportunities for the Senators to score, but Murray kept them off the board. I thought in the last couple minutes of the game, I thought the Penguins' defense, especially from their forwards, were the reason why they were in it that last minute or two of the game. I thought Carl Hagelin getting down on the ice was a big play. That was before the Carlson goal that made it 3-2, but it could have easily been the game-tying goal if not for Carl Hagelin making a play down on the ice earlier. Brian Dumoulin blocked a shot in the last 20 seconds of the game. So they played enough defense, packing it around the net and giving Matt Murray enough support to be able to get the win. And you can make the argument if the Penguins defense played as well as they did last night in the first 3 games of the series, maybe it's a different series. And I wouldn't argue with that. Also, you can make the argument that if they score as many goals in this past game last night as they did earlier in the series, bear in mind, they matched their total goal output for the series in Game 4 alone. They scored 3 goals in the first 3 games. They scored 3 last night alone. So maybe more performances like last night maybe dictate a different series. And that's definitely the bigger topic that we're talking about here as far as how they face this game tomorrow, what we expect from them. How do you expect this game to turn out? Do you expect more of what we saw last night, better offense, better collective defense, more of a sense of urgency, or do you expect it to be more like the first few games? Give us a call and we'll talk about it. 412-575-2600 is the number. Also, give me a shout on Twitter at JoshTaylorHD. Also, want to talk about the Pirates. They pull out a win today against Philadelphia. They beat them 6-3 against the Phillies' Ivan Nova. Another Ivan Nova-like day on the mound. 7 in the 3rd innings, gives up 3 runs, no walks again. He just continues to crank out starts with no walks. Strikes out 3, but got enough defense behind him, got enough run support, got 6 runs again today. Here's something that kind of gets lost in the shuffle right now with what the Pirates are doing. In their last 8 games, they've actually scored 42 runs. That's an average of 5.25 runs per game, and I think I have an idea as to who might be partially responsible for that happening. If you notice, those last 8 games, that was around the time Adam Frazier and David Freese came off the DL. Now, David Freese may not have as much to do with it, not today notwithstanding, because he had a big day today, finally his first breakout day since coming back from the DL. But in those 8 games, Adam Frazier has been a big addition to this lineup. In those last 8 games that I talked about, Adam Frazier hitting 14 for 32. That's a .438 clip with a couple of doubles. He's driven in 7 runs in those 8 games since he's been off the disabled list. Now, granted, he's only started in 5 of them, which kind of adds to some people's frustration. I know some people want to see Adam Frazier in the lineup on a daily basis. I'm one of those people. I'd like to see more of Adam Frazier in the lineup. I'd like to see more of Josh Bell in the top third of the lineup. You want to see more of these guys getting opportunities to contribute, and I think it's a much more important thing as you go forward, knowing that these guys are the ones that are supplying the bulk of your runs. By the way, David Freese starting to come back around, had a couple of good at-bats, hit a home run, drew a walk, so you want to see more of David Freese. Hopefully he continues to contribute. Like we said, 412-575-2600 is the number. Give us a call. We'll be right back here on the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call.
The Allegheny Health Network Nightly